Today for episode 2 of the Thanksgiving series, we're making the best mac and cheese because you guys loved last year's recipe and I just wanted to give you guys an even better version. To begin, we're going to add all of our heavy cream, our cream cheese, as well as all of our seasonings, and we're going to let it simmer on low heat and set it to the side. Here I'm just boiling my 1 pound of macaroni, but remember before you drain it, you want to save 1/2 cup of your pasta water, and then after you drain it in the same pot, we're going to saute our garlic and our shallots. You want to saute them for about 2 to 4 minutes, then add in your flour and saute until it's slightly golden. Add in your sauteed heavy cream, as well as your pasta water and all of your cheeses. Mix on low to medium heat until your cheese is nice and melted. It should look something like this, and then you can pop in your macaroni and give it a good stir. You want everything to be nice and coated, and then you can get ready for layering your macaroni. You want to add a layer of your pasta, a layer of whatever cheese you like the most out of the 3 cheeses that we used, another layer of pasta, another layer of cheese, and we're going to bake at 350 for about 10 minutes or until you're happy with the top layer of cheese. And then take it out whenever you're satisfied, and you're done.
You know it's not the same. Answer the phone. Harry, you're no good alone. Why are you sitting at home on the floor? What kind of pills are you on? Ringing the bell. Nobody's coming to help. Your daddy lives.
This is buffalo chicken mac and cheese. Absolutely incredible. These are the 3 cheeses I like to use. Extra sharp cheddar, Gouda Gruyere, and then Kobe Jack, but I'm using a spicy 3 pepper one. I always like to shred my own cheese because a lot of prepackaged cheeses also have cornstarch, and we want to control how thick it gets. Now take a third of each cheese and save it for later. In a saucepan, melt down some butter, pretty much a bottle of your favorite hot sauce, and as soon as it's melted, I add honey and kill the heat. When cooking your elbow macaroni, rigorously boiling water means they don't stick. The water should taste like a well-seasoned soup. For the cheese sauce, I like to use a deeper non-stick pan. We're gonna melt down a little bit more butter and now cook down with equal parts flour. This is called a roux. We wanna cook this down for a couple minutes. We want it to darken in color as well as take out that raw flour flavor. Evaporated milk gets added and I like to add chipotle chili powder, paprika, and garlic. Obviously, don't forget a pinch of salt. Let this come to a very light bubble, then kill the heat. I always add in a little pasta water and we're just gonna go in with our trio of cheeses. This is the consistency we're looking for. And to finish, I like to just add a little bit of that buffalo sauce. I always wash the macaroni when it's done cooking. Just invite all that cheese to the party. I personally like to serve this out of a cast iron. I don't know why, it just feels more official. We do 1 layer of our macaroni, a layer of our mixed cheese, final layer of macaroni, make it rain Parmesan, and to finally seal the deal, more cheese. You can prep this and bake it when you're ready to serve. 350 for around 20 minutes. Okay, we have a quick intermission. I'm fasting and I'm literally so hungry. I'm like drooling when I'm making this. Time for the chicken part for the buffalo chicken mac and cheese. First station has flour and seasoning. In a bowl, we crack in 2 eggs. Just give them a quick beat down. The final station's panko and more seasoning. I even like to grate a little Parmesan in the panko. You want to use nice and thin cut chicken breast into the flour, egg wash, and just straight into the panko. We're going to be shallow frying this in a light layer of oil. Use a neutral flavored oil unless you like olive like I do. For me, there is literally nothing better than chicken sitting in oil. Even though these are thin, by the time the panko gets crusty, they're still raw on the inside, so toss them in the oven. Just 5-10 minutes at 350. Remember our beautiful buffalo sauce? Just make sure they're beautifully coated. I actually like to toss them on a quick broil just to let it caramelize and it'll lay beautifully on top of the mac and cheese. Speaking of the mac and cheese, this is just perfection. I have waited to break my fast just to give you an honest review. And as always, now bismillah. Honestly, that is out of this world. The chipotle chili powder and the buffalo sauce running through that mac and cheese, just incredible. The 3 cheeses we used gave it a beautiful creamy cheese pull, but because of that sharp cheddar, there's a lot of cheese flavor, which I love with the mac and cheese. The chicken on top, you just take a scoop out of that with the mac and cheese, and this just might be one of the best bites you'll ever have. If you are lacking toes like me, every single bite is worth it. Okay, one more intermission before we finish the video. I want to take a moment to thank every single one of you. Your constant support means the world to me, and this will continue to push me to make the kitchen a less intimidating place for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've honestly changed my life. Now back to the video because I have one more question. Would it be illegal to drizzle ranch all over?
Okay, so for all my single people out there, I'm gonna skip the predictable sappy speech about loving yourself and just tell you how to make this single serving mac and cheese that you can cry into tomorrow night. So first, you're just gonna grab an entire stick of butter because carbs are our friends, and we're gonna be adding in some shallots with some all-purpose flour, whisking everything together really well, then adding in some milk and our cheese blend. I'm actually using oat milk here because I ran out of whole milk and it turned out fantastic. And then I'm just popping in some Cajun seasoning, Frank's Red Hot, and some pasta water, topping off a mac and cheese with more cheese, boiling everything together, and that is basically it, you guys. Let me know if you want to see a dessert as well.
I've seen a ton of mac and cheese recipes all over the internet, but I think I found my favorite. The secret is freshly grated cheese. Start by boiling a pound of macaroni. Put it in a bowl with a little butter so the noodles don't stick. For the sauce, you need 6 cups of shredded cheese. I'm using cheddar, Gruyere, and Gouda. Melt out a stick of butter, then add in a half cup of flour. Whisk it together, then slowly pour in 1.5 cups of milk and 2 cups of heavy cream. Whisk on medium heat just until it starts to thicken. Add in your cheese along with 3 ounces of cream cheese. Mix the mac into the cheese. Finish by seasoning it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. Then pour half into a casserole dish, top with more cheese, add the rest of the pasta and more cheese on top. Bake it at 425 just till it gets a little crispy on top. You've got to try this recipe, my favorite mac and cheese of all time.